Hello, everyone. Welcome to Blue Jackets Live, presented by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers, along with Bill Davidge. I'm Ray Crawford. Well, it's been home sweet home here for Columbus since January the 10th. They're 7-3-2 in this building. Thursday night, they lost 6-3 to Toronto. They get Colorado tonight, a team who they beat in all 4 meetings a year ago. And, Bill, this was a team that won 10 of their first 13 games. They've kind of come back down to earth a little bit over the last 5 weeks. Welcome back, getting set for face-off here. And, John, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into our Toyota matchup tonight. And it pits these 2 goaltenders for Steve Mason, of course, for the Blue Jackets, back in there fresh off of that shutout performance. And the veteran, the only goalie over 40 years old, Dwayne Rollison.
There are 13 20-goal scorers in the National Hockey League. Not one is a Blackhawk, which tells you that they have got a lot of depth and a lot of people contributing offensively.
5 home games remain for fans to see their beloved Blue Jackets tonight. They welcome the top team in the West, the Chicago Blackhawks, who through the series so far have won all of them against the Jackets, including 2 here at Nationwide Arena. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Blue Jackets Live, presented by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers, along with Bill Davidge. I am Ray Crawford. Well, for the Blackhawks, they have 99 points. Not satisfied, though, with the best record in the West. They want to finish out strong here, their final remaining 10 regular season games, and earn and win that all-important home ice advantage. For the Blue Jackets, Bill, 0-2-2 so far against Chicago in this series, but there have been some really tough battles. It's now a matter of doing the little things to get a W.
Yeah, and it is. It's the simple little things when you step out on the good discipline on behalf of the Blue Jackets is certainly a must tonight.
Blue Jackets will be without Jared Boley, injured his left hand in a fight on Tuesday at New Jersey, officially listed as day-to-day. Nathan Page will fill in that left wing on the 4th line for the Blue Jackets. But, Bill, who fills in from a physical presence standpoint?
Well, listen, it's going to have to be a pack mentality.
Well, Jake Voracek, Bill, I seem to think that he did about everything right throughout this season. He did have that dry scoring stretch, 32 games with just 1 goal. But things have turned around for him here in the last 14 games. What's been the difference?
You know what? He's starting to grow into his body.
We've talked in the past about the consistency, Bill, of Christian Huselius. You can almost put money down on it every year. He's going to be a 20-goal or more scorer. Take away that month of December, just 1 goal and 5 assists. He's been able to turn it around, too.
Well, every night when you look at the end of the game, he's on the scoreboard somehow, some way.
And, you know, there are 13 20-goal scorers in the National Hockey League. Not one is a Blackhawk, which tells you that they have got a lot of depth and a lot of people contributing offensively, and they've been pretty stingy defensively as well. All right, getting back to our game here tonight between the Blue Jackets and the Blues, let's take a look at our Toyota matchup for tonight. And really what we're looking at is pitting the Blue Jackets and how well that they play on the road as opposed to the St. Louis Blues and their numbers at home. As I mentioned earlier, St. Louis has lost their last 5 straight at home, so it's a real confidence issue for them right now. But again, they are coming off of that 4-3 win over the LA Kings. And you see what the Blue Jackets have done. Exceptional, especially on the power play away from Nationwide Arena. Now, as for Ken Hitchcock, well, his team has not won in this building since 2007, so he's expecting a tough one tonight. Claude Noel has said in the last couple of days he's been one of the best forwards to play here in recent games since the Olympic break. Do you see this as a potentially long-term thing or just until Christian Huselius comes back?
I think once the troops get healthy, Murray's going to be in his more natural position among one of the lower 2 lines.
John, in the locker room after that loss to San Jose, you were asking some of the players, as you noted, there, that the Sharks just kept coming in waves and applying pressure. The Blue Jackets, would they like to apply that same type of pressure? Did they learn something from that game at San Jose? Martin Mathot could be a busy guy again tonight with the gloves off. John Michael with us again. And if somebody would try to take your tire microphone, John, I'd step in and I'd have your back. That's for sure. The team is saying all the right things. It's not quite translating yet on the ice. How do they play through this slump?
Well, gee, thanks, Ray. I feel much safer now. Thanks so much.
And tonight marks the 3rd of 4 meetings against Colorado this year. We'll see them again in Denver 1 month from today, believe it or not, February the 2nd. The Jackets have won 6 of the last 9 games against the Avs. Welcome back to Blue Jackets Live. Ray Crawford and Bill Davidge along with you. Thanks for being with us. Ken Hitchcock will stay with the same lineup, Bill, that he did on Thursday. When something's going well in terms of chemistry, you certainly don't want to mess with it. And one of the guys back there in those defensive pairings that's really earned a lot of ice time lately has been Chris Russell.
He has.
Jackets falling in the shootout tonight, 4-3 the final score. And it all happened in that 5th round of the shootout. Steve Sullivan beating Matthew Garon. And And that was the difference tonight as the Predators, for the second straight time in less than a month, beat the Jackets by the identical score, 4-3, also in a shootout. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Blue Jackets Live, presented by IGS Energy. I'm Ray Crawford. We'll head back out to Nashville in just a moment. Going into this game and going into the shootout, you had to like the odds for the Blue Jackets. Matthew Garon, with an NHL record, 13 straight wins in a shootout. That came to an end tonight. And as we talked about in the pregame show this evening, 10 straight wins for him going back to 2008 when facing at least 35 shots. He faced 39 tonight. So again, Matthew Garon against the trend for him here in recent years in his career, both in regulation and in the shootout. But tonight, try to salvage one game of this three-game West Coast road trip. Matthew Garon, he stopped 20 of 22 shots on in relief of Steve Mason last night in L.A. Had 32 saves in a win over this Ducks team back in November. The Jackets won that by a final score of 3-2. Welcome back here to Blue Jackets Live, presented by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Ray Crawford here with you as we get set for face-off here in just a few minutes out in Anaheim between the Ducks and the Blue Jackets. Well, hard to believe that a team with 7 Olympic medalists could struggle to make the postseason. It is true. Anaheim is 12th in the West. The last team with 7 Olympic medalists, the 2002 Detroit Red Wings, who went on to win the Stanley Cup. Jonas Hiller, well, he played in the Olympics, didn't medal, but he played in goal for Switzerland and had a pretty good appearance there in Vancouver. And he did have a world-class performance in his last appearance against Columbus, stopping 35 of 36 shots. His play has improved since the new year. He's second in the league in wins since January with 14. But as we take a look at the Toyota matchup, that success since New Year's Day has not carried over to his play lately. Just one win in his last 5 starts, allowing 17 goals. So the Jackets face a potentially vulnerable goaltender. Now if they can only capitalize. Claude Noel on what he expects to see from Anaheim.
From now. Yeah, certainly could be an interesting decision after tonight's game and heading to the Chicago, as you talked about. John, thanks very much. Of course, the Jackets, though, have allowed 3 or fewer goals in 9 of the last 10 games, so you got to give some credit to Steve Mason there for being a part of that successful stretch as well. Still to come, John will be back with us to talk about the turbulent times for the Blues on and off the ice behind their bench. And Raffi Torres continues to make noise in the second line that is hitting all cylinders. More on his play next.